Right, welcome to USB TV. Thank you for joining us for the post-match reaction. Liverpool versus Southampton. Liverpool won the game by 2 goals to 1. We're going to go through a few key points of the match. The silly red card by Hugo Nketiah, the horrible injury, unfortunately, to Giovanni Leone, and just analyse the 90 minutes of the game. We're going to start off first with the first half of the game for me. I think Liverpool started well in the first probably 5-10 minutes on the front foot. Alexander Isak missed that glorious chance. Well, the keeper saved it. You can say it was a bad miss, or you can say the keeper made a good save. But I'd say after about 10 minutes, in my opinion, Southampton really, really grew into the game. They started giving Liverpool a lot of problems. They got the ball down. They went toe to toe, to be fair. They went toe to toe with Liverpool. They didn't come, Southampton did not turn up to sit back in that game and take all Liverpool's energy. They actually give energy back, which was a bit worrying because they missed some really, really good chances that they should have scored. Um, I'll start off from with Joe Gomez for me. Considering Joe Gomez was the experienced centre back that we had on that pitch today, I actually think Giovanni Leone looked more comfortable on the ball than Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez, for some reason, just kept giving the ball away. I take it he hasn't. I know he hasn't had a match. He's still rusty. He hasn't had a match for a long time, but every time he got hold of the ball, like going forward, he'd give it to a Southampton player. Um, so that needs, obviously, he needs more legs in his minutes, which is fair enough. So I'm not going to be too critical on Joe Gomez. If I go into the midfield again, okay, Frimpong as well, Jeremy Frimpong, I've got to mention him. Going forward was very good again, but his final balls again was, for me, was not good enough. Every time, good runs. Isak was making runs, waiting for Frimpong to give him that final, in the last third, that final pass. Kept lacking it all the time, which is another issue that we need to improve on. Robbo on the other side, we all know what we get out of Robbo. You know what I mean? He's always a 7 out of 10 or more. Robbo was comfortable, he was fine. Going to the centre mid, young Naoni, the lad tried, he had a good goal as well. Do you know what I mean? It's just young, you can still see a little bit of inexperience, but when he's got the ball to his feet, brilliant. Brilliant. So I'm going to ask David as well what his opinion was on
I mean,
some of the game yesterday.
the standout for me in the game was Chiesa. I mean, how good was Chiesa? For me, the first thing I thought at the end of the game is, how is he not in Liverpool's Champions League squad? That's one thing. That was the biggest thought I had after the game. Secondly, I did think, if I know we're sitting here and we're saying Liverpool have scraped it, but I can't help but think if Isak scores, which he normally does, in the first minute, if I'm right, of that game, I think Liverpool win 3 or 4-0. But one thing we've got to understand is that, Liverpool aren't playing, and like Sam said before, no disrespect to Man United, but they're not playing at Grimsby, who Man U played, or playing, who Arsenal are playing in their cup game against Paul Vale. These, Liverpool play the side who've just been relegated from the Premiership, and other people like myself, I looked at Southampton's position in the Championship, which is the wrong thing to do, because sometimes the Championship positions are false. If you face a Championship team, it's totally different from facing a League One or League Two, especially one who's just been relegated as well. So Liverpool, even though I said 3-0, Liverpool did struggle a bit at times, because if you think about it, the first team, the first starting 11 of Liverpool in a normal match are struggling to get to know each other. I won't say struggling, but are getting used to each other. So never mind a second team who have been thrown together. I mean, you're putting 2 new defenders that have never played together. Just, centre-back for me is the most important position on the football pitch. And you're putting 2 new players who Leone was actually he was brilliant. So he's unfortunate with the injury, which I hope he's back as soon as possible. But Liverpool done well overall. Obviously, Nketiah was silly at the end.
Very, very stupid.
I put that down to some French arrogancy. Took over him. Now Messi done that celebration against Real Madrid in the Bernabeu, but that was a 3-2 winning in the 93rd minute. A win against Southampton of the Championship. So I do think, You know, there's other ways to show that you're a bit, you know, you're angry or disappointed that Isak is getting,
Yeah.
you know, is getting his, you know.
But what I'll come to say to that is Hugo Nketiah knew before he signed for Liverpool that everybody in every continent in the world who follows football knew that Liverpool's number one target for the striker was Alexander Isak. So before Hugo Nketiah arrived at Liverpool, he already knew. His agent would have sat him down and say, look, Liverpool want Alexander Isak. That's their number one striker. So Hugo Nketiah must know that if he was ready to come to sign for Liverpool, he was always going to be the second striker for Liverpool until he works hard and proves himself that he can be above Alexander Isak. But there was a lot of noise all over everybody knew that Alexander Isak wanted to come to Liverpool. This is a guy that didn't even go to train with Newcastle, didn't travel to America or Asia with Newcastle pre-season because he didn't want to be with Newcastle. He wanted to sign for Liverpool. So Hugo Nketiah cannot tell me that he did not know that Liverpool Football Club were going all out to sign Alexander Isak. So this arrogance, because yeah, I do agree, I think it was arrogance, because if you take your top off and you show your shirt with your name on it to the fans to say, I'm here, I'm number one, or maybe he's trying to prove that he scored more goals than Isak. But what he's got to remember is he arrived before Isak to our club. So I think it was a selfish moment. It was he's young. I'm going to put it down to that as well. He's still a young lad. He knew he was on a yellow card. So please, viewers, just let me know. I don't buy into that. He forgot he was on a yellow card. You don't forget. You're a professional football player. You don't forget when a referee shows you a yellow card. Once a referee shows you a yellow card, you know you've got to be disciplined for the remainder of that game so you don't get a red card. So he knew exactly what he was doing. And I think now he's going to. The horrible thing about this now is he misses the game against Crystal Palace on Saturday, which is for me, and people might laugh at this, that's possibly going to be our hardest game to date because Crystal Palace is still undefeated. They beat us on penalties in the Charity Shield, and they haven't lost a game in the league, Crystal Palace. Now, Hugo Nketiah misses that game, and that's a game where we need some. He's in form. He looks he's scoring goals.
I don't think Ekatike would have started anyway against Palace. So I don't know. Only Ekatike knows in his mind if he knew. Was it one of them in a split second where he's thought, even if I get another yellow, I'm not bothered. I don't know how far his arrogance he took the better. You know, if you've played football, you'll know emotions can get the better of you, and you find yourself minutes later or seconds later thinking, why have I just did that? Only Ekatike knows if he's thought, whether I get a yellow or not, because he had an Under Armour underneath his top. So he's probably thought, if I take my top off, the ref might not give me another yellow. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know the rules, you know, properly as well. But I can sort of understand sort of where he's coming from. Not to do what he done, but of his anger. The way he's been since he's joined Liverpool, even in pre-season, he's been absolutely fantastic. If you asked any Liverpool fan and said, right, if Liverpool did never plan of getting Isaac and they only had Ekatike as their main striker this season, I don't think many Liverpool fans would be saying we need a backup. I think Liverpool fans would be happy with it.
No. You still need a backup.
No, but I don't think people will be calling for a striker like Isak, maybe another striker who's not as good as Ekatike. So to have him as a backup striker, for me, that's one of the best backup strikers in a while. Like Origi, who was at Liverpool once upon a time, he's a backup striker that you can say, yeah, he's okay, he's average, he can come on, he can score goals. But this guy, I mean, I heard him in an interview, was it a couple of days ago? They asked him and said, which defender is the hardest you've played against? And he said, there's none. But I like that sort of arrogancy. So he believes, and that cockiness he's got, that's what gets you 25 to 30 goals a season. So I think he was sitting there yesterday thinking, Isak's starting, the fans are cheering Isak and that, and look at what I know, what I'm capable of.
Yeah,
so as a Liverpool fan, I enjoy. As a Liverpool fan, you should be happy a little bit.
It's a Carabao Cup game. This is a game. This is a match where you give your squad players, your young players, and players who are still trying to get back to fitness. These are the opportunities. These are the type of games that you give those players a chance. You don't give them it in a Premier League game or a Champions League game. You give them it in these domestic cup games. So Nketiah should take this as a plus, because I disagree with you on that. That he would have started on Saturday. There's no way that Arne Slot would have started Alexander Isak to play the full 90, to play the game yesterday,
No,
and
not the
started
full,
him.
not the full game.
And started him. I think what would have happened on Saturday is Hugo Nketiah at the moment is in form, and you don't bench a form player in the Premier League to start. I think Hugo Nketiah would have started this away game against Crystal Palace, and I think Alexander Isak would have come on maybe for the last half an hour or something in against them. Now, the problem with Hugo Nketiah is now is if Alexander Isak starts, which he will do, he's going to start against Palace and he goes and scores a couple of goals. Nketiah's not getting back. See, this is how stupid it is. Nketiah might not get back into this team now to start games, because if Isak scores a couple of goals or even a goal and we win the game against Palace, Isak's the player who's going to be starting every Premier League game now for Liverpool.
Was Isak? How far was Isak injured? Was he injured like the last month or last season or something? Because after watching Isak, he still looks about, for me. Because I watch. If you watch Isak, it's not just about scoring goals for Newcastle. I used to be a striker when I used to play, so I watched the strikers' movements, the way they come for the ball, the way they play off the last defender, and he seems like he's 50% of himself. So you're probably right in what you're saying. That's what I'm saying.
The problem is, this is what you've got to understand, and like the whole football world. I mean, a lot of fans who've played, most people have played at different levels, but a lot of fans and football followers who've played football at least at a very decent level will understand that when a team assigns so many new players, not every player is going to hit the ground running. It's a new country. It's a new different type of league. Florian Wirtz is a prime example. Florian Wirtz was in Bundesliga. Fantastic player. Everything, his movements, everything. He's come here. He's looking a little bit off it. It's some people just need a bit of time to adjust, to adapt to different systems of the game. But some players, like Hugo Nketiah, some players are different, where they can just come and hit the ground running straight away. And that's what people have got to understand. You can't just embed all these new players and expect the team to just be flying straight away. And it's got to be given credit to Liverpool, because to win 6 games out of 6 in all competitions, for me, without even playing, I'd say Liverpool have played 65% football of what the levels. I don't think Liverpool have even reached the levels that I'm expecting, or Liverpool fans are expecting. So credit's got to be given, and then embedding all these new fullbacks, new midfielders, two new strikers. People have got to remember 2 new strikers, Florian Wirtz, new creator, and all your defense.
One thing that Liverpool, I won't say lucky, because it's the manager who's put it together, or it stems from years ago. Once you've still got Alisson, Van Dijk, Gravenberg, you've still got Gakpo, you've got Salah, you've sort of still got Kanate. You haven't got Trent, but you've got Frimpong. Then you've still got Robinson, who can come in and Robinson's been playing brilliant. You've still got a stem of a team. You've still got that stem. So I know Liverpool have got new players that have come in, but for me, why Liverpool are still able to win these games, because they haven't lost any of them players I've just said. If Liverpool lose Alisson, Van Dijk, Gravenberg, or Salah at this present moment, if they were to take one of them players out, Liverpool, from the 6 games they've played, I think they may not have won all 6. So for the fact Liverpool have kept that stem right from the goalkeeper through to the striker, it's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I put this down more to mentality. I just think Jurgen Klopp, this just shows again for me the levels that Jurgen Klopp
100%
has got as a manager. 100%. When that mentality of a manager goes into players, he embeds it into his players of belief and fight, and it's a mentality thing. Liverpool are never beaten till that final whistle is blown. Liverpool are never ever beaten. All these players, you're saying Van Dijk, Salah's, and that, it's all because they used to win. When you get into that winning mentality, even when you're not playing well, you still have that belief that
Perfect,
we're
yeah.
going to, something's going to happen. We're going to make something happen. We're going to make something happen. And that's what Liverpool believe in. It's the mentality. Mentality is a massive, massive part of success in football. You have to have the right mentality. Even your Man United teams in the 90s, the Liverpool sides when we under Dalglish, Fagan, Paisley, it's all about the strong mentality. Jose Mourinho's Chelsea team, Pep Guardiola's Man City team. I'm not talking of the Man City team now. I'm talking of the Man City team we've been watching for the last 7-8 years. Very mentality monsters. They never know when they're beaten. Liverpool now, we've got that. Slots carried it on from Jurgen Klopp, instilled this into these players. They're not playing great football. It's not great to the eye to watch. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm a Liverpool fan. It's not great to watch, but I'm sitting there as a fan. I'm still expecting us to win. And Liverpool fans now, even though we're not playing to our potential, we still expecting to win these games, and that is the main thing. But overall, anyway, we'll conclude it. Yeah, 6 out of 6 in all competition.
Brilliant stuff for Liverpool.
But to conclude it all, do you know what I mean? Still, we give Southampton credit as well. They come in, and they had to go. They made it difficult. Look, you know, luckily for Liverpool, we stuck together like we do, and we got the result done. So before we go as well, I'd just like to mention as well, rest in peace to our Liverpool women's manager, who passed away sadly a few days ago, Mr. Matt Beard. So just please, he can rest in peace as well. So our condolences go out to all his family, his wife and his family as well. So thank you for watching USB TV on our analysis on match reaction. We will be going to the Port Vale v Arsenal match. So please join us on there. We'll be doing some analysis on that game. We'll be following that game and doing some match analysis on that game. So please, if you haven't subscribed to us and press the like button. We'll be very, very grateful for your help. Thank you for watching us and see you soon.
Nice one.
Peace.